All right. Hi, Achyuth. Thanks for the opportunity to interview you as part of the education mission of my company, Ace Food Tech. I would like to introduce you to the viewers today. Achyuth is the Regional Marketing Director, Asia Pacific, Animal Nutrition and Health Department at DSM. So, Achyuth, tell us about your background and your education.
Hi Vidya, once again. It's great to reconnect with you after almost 20 years since I
Yes.
met you at the University of Wisconsin. Look, I'm a food scientist by background, the bachelor's in dairy technology from the National Dairy Research Institute. Then I got a scholarship to study food science at Wisconsin, where my master's research was on cheese,
Yes.
um,
Remember that.
analytical chemistry, cheese related. Then worked for 2 years, 5 years in the flavor and fragrance industry.
Right.
This was in Chicago,
Yes.
and then look, if I didn't want to be in a technical field and wanted to broaden out my interests a bit, and based on what I thought was something, it was one of my strengths,
Mm-hmm.
and that I got into an MBA at Chicago,
Yes.
and graduated there, and then got hired on campus by a big food multinational.
Okay. So, how did your management degree actually help you in your career path? And can you elaborate on how you switched your career from food tech background or a dairy background and to a management side in your current, throughout your career path?
I think what it did is three things. One is the diversity of experiences. Yeah. The second is the opportunity to work with some really talented people. And number three is to view the world from a different lens. Yeah. And I'll talk about these three things.
Okay.
The first one was the experiences, with the food multinational I worked with, agri-food multinational. I got an opportunity to move to Singapore, work with the coal business, completely new,
Very new.
um, and for a year, and then come back to the US. As in the core strategy and business development function, um, working with different businesses on the strategy and M&A work, and then had to choose a business. And I chose to come into the animal nutrition business. One, because it had a set of strong leaders. Yeah? So I was interested in general management.
Okay.
Number two, was able to provide me with the diversity of experiences.
Okay.
And number three, I could travel the world. Yeah.
Mm.
And traveled in many parts of the US. And then an opportunity came up in Africa. And we
Okay.
looked around and said, I'll go. Yeah. So that's what I did.
Okay.
Packed our bags, moved to South Africa. We were there for about around a year or so,
Very
and
nice.
then an opportunity came up in India to head the business, the animal nutrition business here. I had a fantastic time all across, but the key here is the diversity of experiences, smart set of people, and during that time was able to find my way, around not just the company but also myself, and the opportunities around the world.
Now you had mentioned, and it's really nice to see you moving from a dairy background to a food science, and then a flavor background, and then completely different management background, completely different platforms, and then now in animal nutrition, you're taking up the career path. So have you ever thought of, like, because you were in food, or you were in a particular industry, you have to stick to that industry, or you think whichever industry you are, how do you impact that industry and how unique your work is for that industry? What really matters for you when it comes to your career path, or what is it that you would like to tell as a message to all these aspiring students out there who want to pursue different careers in their life, but they are stuck with one career or they don't know about other careers? So, can you give us your message?
It's a lot about your passion, yeah, and that doesn't come right away. You figure it out along the way, and it takes a lot of trial and error, failures along the way, till you find, look, this is something that I'm good at. Yeah, took me a lot of time to get there.
Yes.
Number two is to actively seek feedback from the people that you work with. It gives you a good sense of who you are and how you interact with others. The
Yes.
third piece is to stay curious. That's a very important piece because the learning mindset is super important. Doesn't matter whether you're in the food industry or in the animal uh, nutrition industry. The key here is, are you able to bring in a mindset that I'm willing to learn? Yeah. Um,
A lot of people forget that mindset. I think a lot of people fear the move, even within the same department or department they fear. And I think you've moved platforms. So that, could you give us an example or two on how? I know, I understand you were talking to me about how management also has to help you in, believing that yes, you can do well in a different platform, and how does that pan into your career path? Because you might have the confidence that you'll do well in this platform, but how do you weave in the how do you influence the management to believe in you? What are the tools or toolkits that you would want to share to the viewers that might help them to move, careers as you did?
the biggest piece is everyone needs a sponsor, and I was lucky to have some really good sponsors who believed in me earlier on in my career. Now, when you have a sponsor, you have to build that trust, keep that trust rather, because trust is given to you. Now, are you able to earn their trust consistently, with your sincerity, with your competence? Are you able to do that consistently? And that builds greater trust. Then that opens up more and more doors with you. And the fact that I stayed with a single organization for a lengthy period of time, that helped me build more of that credibility,
Yes.
and again build that bank of trust, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah, and also you took the opportunity to go to a different country, or you were very you were taking risks, and I think that also plays quite a bit. People are very comfortable in their zones, and I think you were ready to try a different responsibility, and I think that also helps, I believe, right? I mean, uh,
Very privileged to get the opportunity to do so.
mm,
And when those opportunities presented themselves, I've not been shy to take those. And it's been a phenomenal one, because it's not just about the professional growth that happens. It's all about the experiences that you have and the stories that you can tell. That's very powerful. Yeah. At the end of the day, you've got to be able to weave all that together and build on that. And I've been privileged to have that.
So as a food scientist, when I was working with you in the competition, you were a leader. I could see that you actually brought the team together, and we won the first prize during our IFTSA competition. I still have sweet memories, and I found you a very good leader who actually gelled well with people, and you brought everyone together, even though we were of different mentalities. And I think that clearly is seen in your career path, Achyuth. I mean, you're doing very well wherever you are. I think it's great that you can be a role model for many, who will view this video and will get encouragement from you. Any other last messages, Achyuth? I know we have few minutes. I mean, did you want to say anything more that will help or inspire people when they listen to this video?
Thank you for your kind words, Vidya. You've been always too kind, rather.
No, I
Right.
think you deserve it.
So, so the key here is, I read this nice book. It's called Know Your Ikigai. Kind of sums up everything.
Yes, I've read that.
You
Yeah.
got to find You got to find your passion. You got to find your organization's, what's important, and therein lies the magic. And if you're able to find that and be able to relate to the purpose of the organization, and then that relates to your passion, right? That's where true magic happens. Take some time to find the right organizations to get in,
Okay.
and not all the time you'll be successful, but to I have that saying that, look, I I can fit here and I can do well.
Okay.
That is powerful. Yeah. Number two is believe in yourself. And it's very understated, but that's important. And lastly, I would say be curious. That's super important in a learning environment. This is not, you've heard this, many distinguished people say that, right? It's not about the know-it-alls, it's about the learn-it-alls. So I like that very much.
And if you had to give someone do you have any as a message for them as to what they can look forward to either in the any of the industries? I mean, what are the quick message, one liner that you can give them?
It's again about believing yourself, in yourself. It's about learning, and it's about taking risks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Achyuth. I think it's been a great interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vidya. Pleasure to meet you again.
Yes.